Chapter 3. This is a chapter with a lot of action, lots and lots of action, and some news. And before we get into the action, I want to show you a Boyle. Blue is a series Land Rover, a 109. We love the series. And here's what we did to it. Besides the full overhaul, we added disc brakes and did some work on the steering. Mechanically, it has a TDI 200 engine, totally rebuilt, like everything. All of our cars are completely rebuilt from scratch. And now the good stuff starts. As you know, the Dakar car had its chassis completely destroyed. We were going to take it to Robin, so let's go to the shop and show you the step-by-step repairs. Let's go. If we showed you the chassis now, it wouldn't be much fun. The idea is to show you how we went from this to this. We started chapter 3 by saying we had action and some news. And the news is that we have a sponsor. The channel's very first sponsor. Honestly, I still can't believe it, but we have Cosmo Tires, who, I don't know, they got on board, they met us, got in touch, and said they wanted to help us on this road to Dakar. So I hope that like Cosmo, who's giving us such a big hand, there'll be other sponsors who get on board and step up. So yeah, now it's time to get into the action. Let's take advantage of Ruko.
Wait, Big Head, explain. What's Cosmo?
Oh, well, Cosmo Tires is an American tire company that, don't ask me how, saw our video. As of today, the video has 1,000 views. And someone in the US saw it and said, let's get behind this project and bet on it. So their idea is to provide the tires for us to put to the test. Well, and taking advantage of all the work, that incredible job Robin did, we want to show you a bit of the chassis repair. We won't show everything because it's a ton of work, but we'll show this part. What Robin is doing is using the mark he made in the previous chapter, cutting the chassis along that mark. That plate he's cutting, he'll use it later as a template. Here, what Robin is doing is placing the template plate over a new piece of metal, cuts it, and after cutting it, he grinds it down. The idea is that with this plate, we then fit it onto the chassis and it fits as perfectly as possible. There's always something to touch up. And with that new plate, he has to start filing until it fits right. With the new plate on the chassis, what he has to do is use some magnets to hold it in place. We realize it doesn't fit, so what we do now is trim it. We take a bit off the edges and now it's fitting. And with the magnets, he holds it to tack weld it. Guys, important, it's not like we just cut the plate and put it right on and tack it. Before that, you have to treat the inside of the chassis because, as you saw in the images, it's a bit rusty. So we apply a converter inside and now we fit the plate and tack it. Honestly, Robin is a craftsman at this and it looks freaking awesome. We weld the whole plate. And to finish with a good result, you have to use the flap disc and start grinding down all the slag and the entire weld bead. Keep in mind that when we set up the sheet metal, we give it a small bevel so that the weld seam can penetrate. So when we go over it with the flap disc, we still have some of that seam left, which helps to stiffen the structure. So Robin has already finished the entire chassis. Now what's next is to apply the primer again and then apply all the paint. For the paint, as I mentioned before, we use Jotun because it gives us a really great finish. And besides the finish, it's about the product's durability. We really like the two component stuff. I first started using Jotun for marine projects and I love it. So that's why we paint the chassis that way. What's the deal? Robin suggested we do something a little more fun. So besides painting it all with this polyurethane, which looks really cool, we added an effect with some little gold droplets. We're not telling you the technique because it's Robin's grandma's secret, but we're going to show you how it looks right here. And honestly, it looks spectacular. We really like it. It's not something we usually do, but since this is the Dakar car, we want to do something different to make it stand out. And now, since we've already shown the chassis, let's show Rakito at work. Every now and then, it's his turn. So we got Rakito to start taking apart the differential. It's something he's pretty used to doing. The idea is to disassemble them so we can perform the service. The service includes replacing all the bearings and seals with brand new ones, and then adjusting the differential. Tomorrow, we'll see if we switch to a shorter gear ratio or just leave it as is. You've already seen how we painted the chassis. Besides that, we painted all the drivetrain components of the car. Why? So that when the bushings and everything else arrive, we can start assembly. We had everything all painted up, so we grabbed the press, and with a bit of daring, we installed them. You have to keep in mind when installing these types of bushings that all the tensioners and such look the same on both sides, but one side has a bevel to make the bushing go in easier. Otherwise, you'll end up like I have many times, struggling for a while before realizing it needs to go in from the other side. So just like we took apart the differentials, we had to disassemble the gearbox. That way we could see all the service it needed, which turned out to be everything, but oh well. So we started by cleaning it. Honestly, the best thing to do, since these cars are so filthy, is to clean the outside a bit and then put it in the degreaser. We left it in the degreaser for a while until the gearbox was more or less clean. That way, Juan could start taking the gearbox apart. Here we can see Juan putting it on the table. It's important to have a table to set everything on because I don't know if you've ever taken apart a gearbox, but you have to be kind of an expert to take apart and reassemble a gearbox. So Juancito gets the table ready and starts disassembling the whole gearbox. When it came time to remove the input shaft, there was a bushing on the end that was a real pain to get out. And Juancito, what he did was weld it so that he could heat it up and pull it out. Once everything was disassembled, we ordered the replacement parts and moved on to the next step, which is we don't have one. Summary of Chapter 3. What have we done so far? So far, Robin has done everything he had to do. He did the bumper, the cross member, the brackets, the center rail, all of this. Wow, incredible. Nestor hasn't done a thing. Nestor, get your act together because we have about 60 days left and you've done nothing. All of Nestor's stuff is left for Chapter 4. Ruko started with the clamps, he took the axles apart, and a big problem we have is that Gussie isn't working. He's feeling sick. You get old and you get a bit... The man is beat out. So we're a bit behind with all the painting and everything, but well, we know that. One way or another, we're gonna finish it. So Ruko is halfway through, Gusty did nothing, and Nestor, I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to get moving. Well, and now we've reached the end of the chapter. It's raining hard. I don't know if you can hear it on camera. Can you hear it or not?
Maybe so.
We'll see. It's raining a lot. It's really loud here inside the shop. But anyway, a grand farewell. What do we want to ask of you? First, if you're just hanging out at home and want to come give us a hand, it would be great. The truth is we have very little time. Let's see how we manage this. Second, what I told you last time, guys, subscribe, hit like, the trash bag, whatever. If you want to support Kumail, how he supports us, give him a hand to see if we can make a few more bucks. And that's it. See you next time.